Welcome to the explainer. You know that little voice in your head, that gut feeling? We often just brush it off like it's some random, mystical thing. But what if I told you it's actually a skill? Today, we're going to dive into the science and the practical steps to turn that vague hunch into a tool you can actually train, sharpen, and truly rely on.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to move past the whole gut feeling idea to understand what intuition really is. Then, we'll get into the fascinating science of how your brain pulls this off. From there, we'll get super practical with a toolkit to help you build that inner muscle, learn how to filter out the noise, and finally, make intuition a partner you can trust in your daily life.
All right, let's jump right in. To really get a handle on intuition, we've got to look past the cliché. This is way more than just a random hunch. It's a pretty sophisticated cognitive process.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You get this subtle little nudge about a person or maybe a situation, but you just push it aside because, you can't logically explain it. And then, sure enough, later on, you're kicking yourself thinking, I knew it. That exact feeling, that's what we're unpacking today.
So, what are we really talking about here? Well, at its core, intuition is basically your brain's ability to know something directly, without having to go through all the slow, deliberate steps of a logical argument. It's that immediate insight that just seems to pop into your head out of nowhere. And hey, this isn't some new age concept. The legendary psychologist Carl Jung absolutely nailed it. He called it a perception via the unconscious. And that's perfect. It's your powerful, background processing mind bringing forward ideas and solutions that your conscious mind just hasn't pieced together yet.
So how does this actually work? I promise it's not magic. It's all neuroscience. Your brain has this kind of hidden superpower, and we're about to pop the hood and see how it runs.
Okay, so cognitive psychology gives us this fantastic framework, often called dual process theory. Think of it like this. You have two different systems for thinking. System 2 is the one we're all familiar with. It's our slow, deliberate, analytical brain that makes spreadsheets and weighs pros and cons. But System 1, that's the star of our show. It's incredibly fast, totally automatic, and it's a master of pattern recognition. This is the engine of your intuition.
And this number right here shows you just how powerful that engine really is. Your brain is a gigantic pattern matching machine. It processes over 90% of all sensory information, sights, sounds, tiny social cues, completely below your conscious awareness. All of that data, processed in the background, forms this incredibly rich soil where your intuitive insights can grow.
So this is absolutely crucial to understand. This is not about abandoning logic. It's not a battle between your gut and your head. The most effective people use their intuition as a starting point, like a launch pad, and then they bring in their analytical mind to test it, to verify it, and to refine that initial insight. They're a team.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now for the fun part, the how. How do you actually train this cognitive muscle? Let's open up the tooltip. Across the board, experts and researchers all point to a few core practices, and they really boil down to these three powerful steps. You've got to quiet the mind, listen to your body, and then record and reflect. Let's break each one down.
First things first, you have to turn down the volume. Intuition is a subtle signal, and it's so easily drowned out by the constant chatter of our own minds and all our devices. Simple things like 5 to 10 minutes of meditation, a walk outside, or even just putting your phone away for an hour can create that stillness you need for the signals to actually come through.
Next up, your body often knows things way before your conscious mind catches up. This is literally what people mean when they say a gut feeling. Scientists even have a name for it, somatic markers. It's real, physical data. So start paying attention to that stuff. A flutter in your stomach, a tightness in your chest, a sudden feeling of calm. Your body is communicating with you. You just have to learn its language.
And finally, this might be the most important step of all. You have to create a feedback loop for yourself. Start an intuition journal. Seriously, write down your hunches, those gut feelings, even weird dreams you have. Then, and this is key, go back and check on them. See how accurate you were. This does two amazing things. It helps you recognize the unique way your intuition talks to you, and it builds the evidence you need to start trusting it more.
Okay, so once you start noticing these signals, a new challenge pops up. How can you tell the difference between real intuition and all its imposters, like anxiety, fear, or just plain old wishful thinking? This is all about tuning the signal.
And this distinction is everything.
True intuition feels calm. It's clear and grounded, even if it's giving you a warning. It's a deep, quiet knowing. Anxiety, on the other hand, it's loud, it's chaotic, it's totally driven by fear. It just spins out worst-case scenarios and leads to paralysis, while real intuition, that leads to clarity.
You also have to watch out for your brain's own little shortcuts, what psychologists call cognitive biases. These things can easily disguise themselves as intuition. Take confirmation bias, for example. That's when you feel something is right just because it confirms what you already wanted to believe anyway. Just being aware of these biases is half the battle in keeping your intuitive signal clean.
All right, let's bring this all together. We've defined it, we've looked at the science, we've got the tools to train it. So how do we make intuition a reliable partner in our everyday lives?
Here's your action plan. Look, don't go betting the farm on a hunch tomorrow. Start small, practice on low-stakes decisions, like which route to take home from work. Next, start actively asking your intuition questions. Pose the question, then just let it go, and allow the answer to surface when it's ready. And finally, always seek balance. Use that intuitive flash as your starting point, then bring in your logical brain to test the idea out.
You know, when it comes right down to it, this journey isn't about learning some brand new mystical skill. It's really about remembering how to listen. Your intuition is a natural part of your cognitive wiring. It's already there, it's constantly working, offering you guidance. The only real question left is, are you ready to quiet the noise and finally start listening?